Hello people, a very happy afternoon to all of you. So guys, in today's video, I'm going to quickly discuss with you the 5-day study planner for your accountancy subject. So before I start discussing the day-wise planning with all of you, let me give you a quick summary of how you should be planning these 5 days. So guys, today is 25th of March, where you would have completed your BST examination. And I earmark this day as day 0. After that, you have 5 days of holidays in between. Day 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And on 31st of March, you'll be taking up your accountancy examination. Now, please remember very carefully that you will start your preparation, guys, on your day 0 and you will complete your preparation by day 4. All the chapters from the partnership series, from the accounting for share capital or debenture series, and your third volume, which is basically your ratio, financial statement, and cash flow, everything, all the topics you'll be completing by day 4, so that on day 5 and on exam day, day 5 you will be roughly having somewhere in the range of 10 to 12 hours, and on the exam day somewhere in the range of 2 to 3 hours. So these 2 days effectively you will utilize for revising all the concepts that you have studied from 25th March till 29th March, so that one day prior examinations, again, if you do a quick recap, everything will be there in your mind at the top level. So do not commit the mistake of stretching your preparation till day 5, and do not rely on the exam day for doing a quick revision of all the topics that you've studied in the last 5 days. That is not going to work. It might create a pressure on your mind. So please, you will have to stop your preparation by 29th of March. 30 and 31, exclusively those 14 hours you will keep aside for your quick revision of whatever you studied in between 25 to 29. So let's hop into the daily planner. So on day 0, guys, I have shortlisted 2 topics for all of you. One is financial statement analysis, and second is ratio. You will not be in position to complete the ratio, all the concepts of the ratio topic in day 0. There'll be a carry forward happening in day 1. But the target is that in day 0 and day 1 put together, you have to complete your financial statement, ratio, and cash flow. Because this 3 chapters together, guys, takes care of your 20 marks from the board examination point of view. And these are the small topics which easily you can pass by very quickly. So financial statement, guys, you'll be starting on Saturday, which is day 0, and roughly I've earmarked around 3 hours. So plus and minus 1 hour, you can plan accordingly, nothing wrong. So you'll be covering all the concepts of your liabilities under the new balance sheet format, all the concepts of assets, P&L, and the corresponding practical questions and MCQs you'll have to complete, finishing this in this 3 hours. So guys, you might be wondering, sir, how is it possible that all the questions, all the concepts that we finish off in 3 hours? So guys, let me tell you very clearly, we have already discussed this in the examination. During our accountancy preparation, that you should have all the, concepts handy with you for a quick revision. And you should be having all those questions marked as in which questions you're going to see during the examination period of this time, and which questions you're not going to see. So that planning, you guys, I believe, would have done already long back. So today, when you're preparing for this revision series, guys, you should have all the concepts and sub concepts handy with all of you. You should have a complete checklist with all of you. Under each and every concept and sub concept, whatever the important points or important assumptions that the book is suggested, so you should have had all those points handy with all of you. Whatever the formats under each concepts and formulas that is being given in each every chapter, you should have it handy with all of you. And I told you very clearly that all the questions you should earmark it, and segregate it into 3 categories: easy, medium, and tough. So easy categories, you will not spend time in going through those questions, because you have already done it ample times and everything is very clearly registered in your mind. So in these 5 days, your major focus will be on going through the medium level questions and tough level questions. And few questions you will work out in between with proper formatting. Let me tell you, you will not do a rough workout. Whatever questions you're planning to work out under all the concepts and sub concepts, ensure that once you do it with proper formatting, so that your brain is tuned to that way of presentation, and same thing will happen with you in the examination. Often I've seen students, they do a rough work in the while they practice at home, and when they go to the board examination, they struggle how to present in the proper format with proper headings and everything. So please ensure that you adequately practice before, and all the questions that you would have practiced earlier. Besides that, I asked you to mark and highlight all the mistakes that is there in those questions. And I also told you that there are certain questions where you will be 80% in position to do those questions. Only 20% or 10% there could be a problematic point. So those problematic points also you would have highlighted using the highlighter. So today, when you come across those questions, you will not go through the entire question, but you'll go through only the 20-10% part which you had difficulties. By that virtue, you will be in position to very quickly do a fast revision of all the chapters. So guys, around 3 hours you can take to finish off your financial statement analysis. Then next 3 hours you'll be spending on the concepts of ratio, where you can target finishing your liquidity ratio and long-term solvency ratios. Do all the revisions of the concept, important points, wherever assumptions we have taken into considerations, the formulas that we have noted it down. So all that you should have it handy for quick revision. And you would have segregated the medium and tough practical questions, so that you have to go through, and some questions you have to work out, and all the book back MCQ questions from whatever textbook we have shortlisted. From that, you'll be completing relevant to liquidity ratio and long-term solvency ratio. So in day zero, guys, you have to give 6 hours. You have to give 6 hours for accountancy subject. Now, don't think there is 5 days study period of time. So I have a lot of time to finish the subject. So don't be lethargic. Even for the people, those who are scoring really well so far in the pre-boards, and those who feel that you have studied already well, don't take it lightly. Every single hour that you miss is very crucial. So on day zero, you have to give at least 5 to 6 hours minimum. More than that, if you give, well and good. 6 hours you have to earmark for day zero. When you approach day one, the first thing that you have to do, guys, whatever you have studied in the previous day, you have to give a quick revision. So in day zero, since you're spending only 6 hours, so in day one, when you revise, I've allocated only 1 hour for that. So you'll be allocating 1 hour. That is the moment you get up on day one, that is Sunday morning. The first thing what you will do is you will recollect all the points, all the concepts, formats, formulas that you have studied in your financial statement, and the ratio concepts pertaining to liquidity and the long-term solvency ratio. You'll do a quick recollection. If you're able to recollect everything without any flaw, then you have done your study and revision in a very smooth manner. So if you're able to recollect it today, you'll be able to recollect it even later. So recollection is very important. But at some point of time, if you are struggling to recollect, if you are having difficulties in recollection, please ensure that you have to again spend little bit of time again to do a recap and a proper revision. After that, guys, you will again spend nearly about 4 hours of time for completing your remaining two categories of ratio, which is turnover ratio and the profitability ratio. But please understand, in your current year syllabus, there are certain ratios that has been newly introduced, right? In your TS level book, in the second volume end, there is addendum given. In that addendum, there is very clearly what are all the additional ratios that has been introduced this year, is been clearly laid down. So without forgetting, please ensure that you go through all the new ratios. There is high probability that the question might come from the updated syllabus. So I think roughly around 4 hours is sufficient for completing the remaining two ratios. Just in case if you want to take additional 1 hour, nothing wrong. And once you complete your accounting ratios, guys, the next topic that we'll focus is on cash flow statement, because even that is a continuation of the format of the financial statement, because its balance sheet and P&L is in the similar lines. So you can finish off it in one shot. So I've earmarked around 7 hours for completing your cash flow statement, which is very good enough. So you have to give major emphasis on how to calculate the net profit before tax and extraordinary item, because that is one segment which they will 100% test. Second is how do you calculate the operating activities. Those four segments that we've been discussing in the class, you have to have a very strong hold on that. So definitely you will be getting questions from that particular activity. And then maybe around 1 hour each for each segment later, which is investment activity and financing activity. So overall 7 hours of time is very good enough for you to complete your cash flow statement. So you can practice couple of questions, around 2-3 questions in this period with proper formatting, with proper heading, proper formatting, everything done. Whatever is required to be presented in the format with absolute presentation, just try it once by yourself, so that when you go in the exam and try to present, you will not get stuck. So often lot of time people say me that, sir, we had practiced very roughly in the while doing our revision. So when we went to the examination hall, we got literally blank, that how the format has to be presented, what to be written and what should not be written. So we got confused. So formatting is very, very important. So every day, guys, I would suggest you to give minimum 11 to 12 hours, like 11 to 12 effective hours you have to give, which means that if you're sitting with your book for around 14 to 15 hours, effectively around 12 hours you can pull in. Anything less than that could be a little risky. So please ensure that you can give at least 1 more hour, make it this as 5, so that you can give 12 effective hours on your day one. Now, with day 0 and day 1, guys, we have completed financial statement ratio and accounting ratios. By that virtue, you have completed your 20 marks from the board examination point of view, because these three chapters put together is targeted for 20 marks in the board exams. Now, on day 2, what you will be doing is, the first thing that you will do is a 2-hour revision of whatever you have studied on day 1. So, day 1, whatever you have studied, you will recollect. Now, in that 2 hours, by any chance, if you feel that the day 0 concept, something you're not sure with, you want to recollect, nothing wrong. You can recollect the concepts of day 0, day 1 together, but ensure that you don't give more than 2 hours. If you do so, then the time that is available for the remaining chapters could be a little bit compressed. So please ensure that you complete your revision within this 2 hours. And revision is not like you take your book, open it and just read it. No, revision is basically you need to recollect. You need to recollect from your brain. So if you are let's say touching upon the accounting ratio revision, so you have to understand that what are all the total ratios in each and every ratios, what are the sub ratios for each and every sub ratios, what are the formulas. You have to recollect. You will not read, you will not glance at, you need to recollect. Because guys, ultimate is what, when you're going in the examination hall, when you're looking at a particular question, you should be able to recollect it instantly. So for that, you're checking it right now itself, that are you able to recollect the questions or the concepts or the formats or the formulas instantly. If you're not able to recollect instantly, somewhere the concept what is gone into your head is not stored properly. So that calls for another quick revision. So once you do that, guys, you will be heading towards for preparing the accounting for issue of share capital, which is your day 2, and you have segregated 7 hours for that, which is very good enough. So in that, you'll be covering all the concepts. I hope all of you would have prepared the complete checklist of the concepts and subconcepts like this. So if you see, for each and every chapters, we have noted down all the concepts and the subconcepts. For example, if you see in the fundamentals of partnership, there is one concept of preparation of P&L appropriation. Under that, we have four subconcepts. What will happen if the net profit is more than the item of appropriation? What will happen if the net profit is equal to item of appropriation? What will happen if the net profit is less than the item of appropriation? What will happen if there is a loss? So like that, there are sub-concepts. So for each and every topic, you will have to have this complete checklist with you. Why? Because once you finish the chapter, you will go through this checklist to cross check if you have missed out on any concept or sub-concepts for revision. So like that, you'll be having a complete list. If not, let me know. I'll be providing this list with all of you. So like that, for share capital also, I have given a complete list of concepts and sub-concepts that you have to go through. So 7 hours is decent enough for you to complete the revision. So recollect all the concepts. And for each concept and sub-concept, you have to go through a couple of practical questions. And without forgetting, please read and go through all the MCQ questions, case-based studies, and accession-based questions, because these are the challenging points where you can lose your center. People lose 100 just because of missing out that 1 mark in MCQ. So that is very important. So a lot of people focus only on practical, detailed descriptive questions, but also give equal importance to MCQ questions also. Then for debentures, I have segregated 3 hours, I think, which is good enough. So you can spend 12 hours, on day 2 by preparing for these two topics. And these two topics put together will comprise of 24 marks from a board examination point of view. So guys, typically your day 0, 1 and 2 put together will comprise of 44 marks. You're done with 44 marks of your preparation, which will give you a very good confidence and booster that you've completed so much. So some people might think that, sir, can you start with partnership? You can start, but by the end of day 2, you might be able to cover partnership only for 36 marks, because partnership weightage is 36 marks. So on the other hand, if you go with these two topics, you will be covering 44 marks. So you will be covering a lot of topics very fast, and the weightage wise also you'll be covering a lot of portions. So mentally you'll be very positive. But even if you want to start with partnership, nothing wrong, because ultimately we have to finish everything in these 4 days. So no big rocket science. Whatever comfortable you are with. If you're liking partnership topic too much, start with that. Nothing wrong. Now, coming to day 3, guys, the first thing that you will do is, as usual, you will do a quick revision. The first thing when you get up in the morning, you will do is, you will give 2 hours time for recollecting whatever you have studied in day 2, which is under the share capital topic and debenture topic, whatever concepts you have gone through, whatever sub-concepts you've gone through, format, formula, assumptions, important points, everything you'll have to go through once. I mean, recollect it. And then you'll be proceeding towards the preparation of partnership. So for partnership, you have to, target completing the first three topics, which is fundamentals of partnership, goodwill, and change in profit sharing ratio. So for fundamentals, I've allocated 5 marks because you can expect minimum 6 to 8 marks from this topic. Goodwill and change in profit sharing ratio. Changing profit sharing ratio, when you do this topic, guys, you'll be covering majority of the concepts. How do you calculate the new ratio, gaining ratio, and sacrificing ratio? How do you account for goodwill? How do you transfer the reserves, accumulated profits, losses, and deferred revenue expenditure all to the old partners in old profit sharing ratio? The revaluation concept, all that thing will be covered. And those concepts are again getting repeated in the admission, retirement, and death, with minute variations. So here, if you do major weightlifting for those concepts, when you come subsequently for admission, retirement, and death, you can do it a little bit faster. Adjustment of capital is something which is different in all the three topics. So that is one segment where you have to give a little bit more weightage. But otherwise, as long as revaluation concept is there, your transfer of reserves is there, it is common for all the three chapters. So you don't have to literally keep on repeating every time, right? So day three also, guys, totally 12 hours you have to give in, guys. 12 solid hours you have to give in. There is no other option. And then you will be heading towards day four. So in day four, first thing what you'll do is you'll revise 2 hours of whatever you've studied in day three. So with respect to your fundamentals of partnership, goodwill, and CPSR, all the concepts, format, formulas, important points, assumption, everything needs to be recollected before you head towards the next topic. And day four, guys, you have to wind up with the partnership topic. So admission, retirement, death, and dissolution, you will be completing in the remaining period of time. Remaining period of time, you have to finish it. So day four, you'll be completing your complete revision on the accountancy subject. Now on day five, guys, you have to do a quick revision of 2 hours of whatever you have studied in day four. And then from day one till day four, whatever you have revised, you have to do a quick revision. So for each and every topic, I've allocated approximately 1 hour. So here you will not be sitting and going through and turning around the pages, guys. You will be recollecting every point. Because now that you have revised so many times during the entire year, so you should be knowing what concept will fall after one after the other. So you will just flip around the pages and keep on recollecting the concepts and look at it whether it is right or wrong. And that is how you'll be completing your second revision. So first study is happening here. First revision is happening the next day, and the second revision is happening on day 5. Now, why this revision on day 5 is important, guys, please understand. See, on the exam day, you will be in the center, you have to be in the center by 9 o'clock. So you will roughly have 2 to 3 hours only on that day. So that 3 hours, you cannot revise everything now. And see, since you're starting from day 0, there are a lot of concepts that you might forget. So it is very important that one day before the exam, whatever you have studied from day 0 to day 4, if you recollect once, no, it will be better. Everything will stay afresh in your mind. So you'll be confident that, okay, I've done it, properly. So that's the reason on day 5, you'll do a quick recap of all the topics very fast, 1 hour, not more than that. And on exam day, you can do a revision of these two topics, which is pending. And I think more than 2 hours, it's very difficult to give, but I think you can stretch up. If you get up early in the morning, you can stretch additional 3 hours. But my humble request to all of you is that ensure that before your board exam, before your exam day, ensure that you get a deep sleep of at least 8 hours. So don't stretch overnight on day 5, and do not try to get up too early in the morning. People just give some 3 to 4 hours of sleep. If you do so, by any chance, if you feel asleep during the examination, or if you feel very tired, your mental brain is very tired, then you'll be in trouble. Because if the brain is tired, you'll not be in position to recollect your concepts. So it is very important that you should keep your brain completely calm and composed, so that whatever you have studied, which is stored in the subconscious mind, instantly it can come out. Right? So please ensure that you don't have any kind of panic attack during the examination. I'm not saying that you will not have that fear. You will have that fear. Anybody who says that no, nobody should have a panic attack, that's not possible. You do anything. Today you're doing 12 board examination, you are having that little bit of nervousness. Tomorrow you go for college examination, you'll have that nervousness. Tomorrow you go for any job interview, you'll have nervousness. After getting a job, if you're doing any business review meetings, still you'll have nervousness. Once you head towards the promotion meeting, you will still have the nervousness. So this is there with us till the very end. If somebody says that get rid away, or rid away from the nervousness, that is not going to happen. You should only learn the knack of handling those nervousness or panic attack. The moment your brain is under panic attack, which is caused by heart is the culprit who's caused this panic attack. Your brain will be in trouble. So you have to make your brain so strong that the brain overpowers the heart. So you have to have and generate that confidence that yes, I have studied everything. Everything is there in the subconscious mind. The moment I read the question, everything will start flashing in my mind. Please understand, there are certain questions which you will, the moment you read in the one go, you will start getting the answers. But there are certain questions when you read it once, you will not get the flow. So for that, you might need to even do a reading second time, or for that matter, even third time. So this especially creates a problem where that 15 minutes of reading time when you have, a lot of people very quickly glance through the paper. And when they glance it very fast, they might come across certain questions which is kind of cranky at that point of time, because your concentration is not 100%. Your concentration is to finish off the reading of the question paper fastly. So in that point of time, you might feel that, oh shit, this is a question which I'm under prepared, but this is tough. But if you lose your self confidence, guys, you will be under panic attack, and overall the attempt of starting the paper would go for a toss. On the other hand, when you come across a question which is kind of medium or tough level questions in those 15 minutes of reading time, just this brain has to give instruction to heart, telling that don't worry, everything I've studied properly. When I do this question during that 3 hour period, I'll read this question 2 to 3 times, automatically the answer will come. Like that, you have to talk to yourself in such a way that the confidence you have to keep on giving to yourself, because there are certain questions which you have to read 2 to 3 times to get a complete flow, because all the concepts are deep down rooted in the subconscious level. So to come to conscious level, it might take some time. So by just reading the question once in that 15 minutes of time, and instantly you think that everything should strike, that's not going to happen. So there are certain questions which will immediately not strike during those 15 minutes of reading time. But again, you will get a hold of it when you start reading these questions 2 to 3 times while doing that question during the exam. So have that faith and confidence that everything is there in your subconscious mind. You've given your entire 1 year dedication for this subject. So something is there in your subconscious mind. No? So believe in that first. Right. So don't have any kind of negative talks to yourself. Have a positive talk and keep on telling that everything I'm telling you guys, your paper is going to be super duper easy. Trust me, I'm telling you. Because you will get a combination of all easy questions, medium questions, and tough questions together. So you will definitely, get certain questions which you will rock. I'm telling you. So have that faith in you. Definitely, you will get 90 plus. Have that faith within you. And all those people, those are targeting for center, 100 marks. Don't really focus that 100 marks by any chance. Here and there, some point of time the question gets tougher, or you might not be in position to perform. And let's suppose you're getting 1 mark or 2 mark less. So don't be under a scenario, oh shit, I target 100 and I might end up getting only 98, 99. It's okay, right? So when you are under attack and the stage where you're getting 98 to 99, by being under panic attack, you might land up getting even 94, 95. So at any cost, you should ensure that you are not under stress. And believe in yourself. If you're really targeted for 100 now, the process what you followed is good enough, and that will take you to 100. So focus on process, guys. These 5 days, just focus on the process, how you can get sent up. Don't be very particular that I have to get sent up. Getting sent up back of the mind, let it be. But front of the mind, you have to focus on the process, how to get sent up. So that process we're discussing today, right? So this is how your structure should be, guys. And let me know if you have any particular queries. I'll be reachable to all of you. So this 5 days I'm segregating totally for all of you. So whatever queries you have with regard to making a study plan, if you want to customize the study plan, nothing wrong. So before you start preparing for the subject, have a planner ready like this for you, and then get into the preparation. And whatever doubts you have, please make a note of it. So we'll be connecting through Zoom, and I'll be clarifying it one by one. And those people, those who can hop into the academy, I'll be here. You can get your doubts clarified here. So whatever doubts you have, please ensure to get it clarified then and there, or at least by end of the day before you go to sleep. Right? So I'll be there all these 5 days at your support, at your rescue. And whatever it takes, we will do it, guys, to ensure that we come out with flying colors. If you're down, if you're demotivated at any point of time, the next thing what you're supposed to do is give me a call. Right? So I don't want any of my students or any of the other students who are watching this video, don't be under any panic attack. And if you are a person who have not studied with me, don't hesitate, just give me a call. I'll leave my number on the description of this YouTube video. you can have a look at it and just give me a call. I'll try my 100% level best to accommodate all of you and give you all that comfort that is required in these period of time, right? So I think this is what I wanted to discuss with all of you. And maybe I'll come out with another video very soon where I'll be discussing what are the do's and don'ts, in these 5 days of period of time. So that should give you even more clarity what you should do and what you should not be doing. And please feel free to share this video with all your friends, so that if anybody has got any difficulties, any issues they're facing, at least we can help them out at this point of time, right? So I think on that positive note, let me put an end to this session. uh, One thing very clearly, please remember that once you're coming to your home after the examination, after your BST examination, please take a very good sleep, sound sleep for 1 hour or 1.5 hours, whatever you're comfortable with. Once you sleep and wake up, your mind will be totally refreshed and you can give solid 6 to 7 hours on day zero, right? So this is my piece of suggestion. Rest you can plan however you feel like planning, right? So yes, people, that's all from my end for today's session. I'll see you all in the next session. Until then, bye bye, see you, take care.